This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Developing a squat is one of those fundamental human positions. You often hear the advice that we should squat like a toddler. However, this comparison isn't fair because our limb lengths and body proportions are fundamentally different. For adults, it's absolutely vital that we focus on developing ankle flexibility to make the most out of your squat position. The ability to shift the knees over the toes dramatically reduces the flexibility requirement at the hips, but also the loading on them, and vastly improves our squat mechanics. So we're going to take a 3-step approach, something you can do daily, something you can do before your session, and something you can do during your session to help improve your ankle flexibility. Let's go. For the daily, we're going to look at stretching the calves. Now, most people don't see progress when doing this because the calves are notoriously stubborn to stretch. They're designed so that we can walk and move and stand on them all day. Likewise, our stretching has to reflect that. We need to do something that is of adequate intensity and adequate duration. For most people, this is going to be a single leg standing calf stretch, and we're going to need to hold it for around 3 minutes or more per side. The reason we use one leg rather than 2 legs is that the intensity is simply not high enough when you're standing on 2. We need to add more load to that ankle. We also want to play around during this time with different angles. Straight on is great, but you can also try externally rotated to move with toes out to the side, and then internally rotated with toes towards the center. For an extra bonus point, before you do this calf stretch, try and do 1 set, maximum reps, maybe 15 to 30 of an anterior tibialis raise, which you can be done leant against a wall, just trying to lift the toes as high up towards the shins as you can do, keeping the legs straight. So you've got the daily, something you can do to keep it ticking over. Let's look at what you can do before a session to improve dorsiflexion. The Fisherman's calf stretch is a fantastic drill to improve that dorsiflexion, but it's not just about sitting with weight, trying to force it. We need to learn how to use our own strength to improve this position. Once we lean forward into this position, we're going to hold for a period of 60 seconds, but whilst doing so, we're going to use the front of the shin and think about lifting the toes as high as we can, similar to that anterior tibialis raise. We're going to perform a 10-second maximum effort, pulling the toes up towards the shin, feeling this contract. You're then going to exhale, and you're going to shift the knee deeper forward. We're going to do that 3, maybe 4 times over the 60 seconds, then rinse and repeat on the other side before you do your training session. If you have especially tight ankles, performing this with a slight elevation on the heel will help you get further forward and make more use of gravity to pull the knee down and maximize your ankle range of motion. Finally, we come to the integration. We've got some general daily work. We've helped to improve the flexibility for the session. Now it's important that we use it, because that's what flexibility is. You either use it or lose it. For this reason, I really like the Cyclist squat, because when we're performing this exercise, we're going to use a heel elevation, so the foot is at about a 30-degree angle, and the focus is really on keeping that upright torso and the knees shifting over the toes. Perform this one with a slow lowering phase and pause for 2, 3, 4 seconds in that bottom position and really take advantage of the stretch. An honorary mention and addition could also be a front foot elevated split squat for those that have minimal weight or equipment. Again, I like to do this one with a heel elevation for those who have especially tight ankles, and then eventually working to flat foot as your range of motion improves. So with just 5 minutes of stretching per day, a short warm up, and then adding in some demand and requirement to use your range of motion in the ankles in your session is going to be a way that you can start to improve that dorsiflexion. It's all about maximizing results with minimal extra time and effort involved, much like today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is a powerful online website building platform that helps you create beautiful websites with their fluid engine. Simple drag and drop tools to make and customize a website exactly how you want. It provides you a way to generate and monetize your content through members only areas, as well as communicating directly with your audience through things like email campaigns. This is what I use to host my newsletter, The Archetype. You can go to squarespace.com to start building your website today, and when you're ready to go live, use this link to get 10% off a website or domain. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. But other than that, catch you next one. Have a strong week.